which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kelly, can you roll call, please?
Larry Fidler.
Here.
Brady Day. Brady Tanka.
Here.
Bryce Hall. Here. Scott Stillwell.
Here.
Any additions or deletions to the agenda? I would like to make a deletion of Park Board and also make a deletion of Safety Board as the council is not prepared to talk about that subject.
What about the part-time marshal, since she's stepping back as a result?
I was going to bring that to the council's attention when we get to it. Anybody else? Okay, can I get a motion?
A motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approval of minutes from the March 14th, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
I will motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move this to claims and transfers.
From the general, $198,084.28.
Motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
From water, $97,219.72.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
From wastewater, $57,864.26.
Motion for approval?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
And payroll, $50,914.13.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Jason? I'm sorry. Steve?
Okay, so, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the report for year-to-date activity. We're over 1,109 calls for service, so we're on track to have another year around 4,000 calls for service. Agency assist 21, police services 1,322. We've got 110 traffic arrests. We have 145 warnings. I know we've had some discussion about some of the speeding cars. We've been stopping several out there, and we've gotten some pretty good speeds, particularly along Stardust Road. We've been getting some 65, 70 mile an hour in a 30 mile an hour zone, so been busy on that. We do have a vacancy for a full-time officer that we posted. We got 8 applications, and out of those 8 applications, we've only had one person actually come in and talk to us. And so we're going to have to revisit on how to do some recruiting. There's about 10 other agencies near us, around us, that have got openings as well, and they're $20,000 to $30,000 more, so we're not getting a lot of knocking on our door. So at that time, this is all I've got. Unless you have questions.
Thank you. Jason?
Excuse me, first thing is a sign inventory. I wanted to let you know, you guys had approved applying for a sign inventory or regulatory signage here in town, which is just speed limit signs, stop signs, that type of thing, not street signs, but just, school zone signs, any type of sign like that, like caution signs. We did get awarded that grant funding, in the amount of $33,500. I did meet with NDOT this morning in Crawfordsville about that, so we are getting that process moving forward. After my conversation with her today, she encouraged us we'll do the inventory, but then in October, we can file for another grant opportunity to get the funding to actually purchase the signs and install the signs. This is a 90-10 grant, that's also a 90-10 grant as well. So this is just the first phase of it, it's inventory. Now there is a little process, we're going to have to select a consultant to do this. inventory for us. So I'll update you on the process. We ran through a checklist of things that we needed to do today. I've actually got all that in email right now, so this just all kind of happened today, so we're moving forward with that. I'll let you know when we continue on. Next thing I have is this pump. I have no idea how you pronounce that, but
Sorry.
actually, we've got our wastewater manager here today, and he's back there in the back. Glad to have Brad here. He probably knows exactly what that is. But this is, we did have two pumps, and Brad has been on vacation, or honeymoon, delayed honeymoon for the last couple weeks. Before he left, we had actually two pumps go down. I talked to Brandon about this, that the need to get those ordered. Obviously, we have to keep those pumps functional. We did order those two pumps. There is another pump, and Brad, if you want to say something about what lift station those are in, and feel free to explain.
The Surumi is for the lift 8, that's the Blue Sideway lift station, the newer one, the smaller grinder pumps. It's one of the things, they have a short lifespan, especially when they get into some of the stuff you can find in the sewer line and how small they are. The other one, I can't remember the brand, it's not a Surumi. It's the Frostway lift station, it's lift 3. It's just their old pumps. It's got a few years on it. But it's another small pump. Neither one of them ran a substantial amount or anything like that. It's just basic wear and tear as far as what's happened to them and the need for replacement.
Is there any advantage or longevity if we go to a bigger pump in those particular places?
There would be, but we would be bottlenecked with the force mains. So, I mean, we have to bore in new force mains or install new force mains to increase the size of the pump.
Jason?
Are those, we haven't received a bill for those yet, have you? For either of those pumps? I don't think that we probably have. I don't know if you want to approve those officially now, or you could wait till they come in, but we did purchase one for each of those stations.
Why don't we wait until the invoices come in?
That's fine. Next thing I have is the pellet wastewater relocation. This is the force main that by Poet on the west side of the road where we have to take it outside. I had emailed, this was shortly after the last meeting. I did get the two, actually I solicited 3 quotes. I think received 2 quotes. I emailed that to all of the council members to get your input. INDOT was really, really pushing us. Since Duke is, if you've noticed, Duke is gone now. So they're really pushing us to get in there and get our sewer relocated. I sent you guys the quotes, and you guys have given your opinion and thoughts on that. I have gone ahead and told him to get the supplies. It's gonna take him a couple weeks to get supplies in, but I think we could be starting construction on that by next week, hopefully, and weather is obviously a factor as well. But INDOT's really, really rushing us to get in there and get out there. So, I don't know if you want to take formal action on that, or Jammer construction, or Jamar, honestly, I don't know.
The email's good enough?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you think it's, okay, we'll do that too.
I'm gonna go unanimous one.
They did have a unanimous.
If you're okay with that,
Yeah.
but I did want to update you there. That is in process. Like I said, he did have to order the supplies. That's going to take a little bit of time, but we're going to be able to get in and get out of there, provided the weather doesn't delay us. Poet discharge. Poet has asked to discharge some of their water to our wastewater. Now, this is not the bad water that or the bad wastewater we received before. This is the water that gets in the filter, that even gets to the system. So it's going to be really, really clean water. It's actually cleaner water than what we put into our wastewater. We have consulted with, Mr. Shagley's been involved, Eric Smith with HWC, and our financial services group, we looked at the different rates, we looked at the rate that we had with the previous consultant, or with the previous company that managed the facility. I can't remember what it's called now, before it was Poet. But anyway, we ended up determining that the rate that we charge for just a regular residential customer is what we would need to charge. So that contract's been through, like I say, Mr. Shagley, HWC, I reviewed it, and then also our financial consultant, and Kelly seen it as well. It's gonna be a pretty substantial wastewater customer, and it will not do any damage to our system. That was our biggest concern, is what they were going to be sending us. But this water is cleaner water than,
And we've got an easy out too if something goes down, as far as terminating the agreement.
correct, yeah.
That was the kind of main thing.
I was kind of hoping to have it here for you tonight, because they're wanting to start doing some production. But I know that there were some final touches there, so we'll have that for you real soon. We've been dickering back and forth for, 2 weeks, 3 weeks on this. But it's gonna be a really good customer for us, and sending us water that's not gonna disrupt our plant. That was my big concern, for Brad's too. They're not sending us bad stuff.
And Eric Smith was very helpful in making sure that that was all, that side of it, technical side of it, he was very helpful with all that whole process. Yeah, we should have that, we could approve it, we could approve it tonight, pending my final review, and then that way they can start before the end of the month. So if you just want to make a motion to approve the quote agreement pending legal, and then they can start before the next meeting.
So we'll have that for the May meeting.
We'll probably have the agreement tomorrow, the next day.
Okay.
There was just a couple of details, and Eric was at a conference today in Indianapolis. That's why he's not here tonight. So I'm just saying, you could approve it pending my final approval. And that should go here.
Would you like to make a motion on that?
So move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Bennington Way, we have a pre-construction meeting tomorrow with our contractor. I know Kelly is planning to be there. I've invited both Brad and Richard to be there as well. If any council members want to be there, you're more than welcome. It's a Zoom meeting, I'll have it on my computer. I don't know if it's something you have to be there, or unless you're just really, really interested in it. But we're just gonna discuss the startup for the construction, because they're gonna be moving, or mobilizing this way real soon on that, so.
When is this, and what time?
It's tomorrow morning, is that 11 o'clock? 10 o'clock. I can actually send you the e-vite if you'd rather have that.
Please. Can you? Please.
Or you can watch it here too, however you want to do it. We'll have a lot more information on dates and that type of thing, and what to expect. That's kind of what we'll be talking about tomorrow. So I'm not really sure what they've got planned, but that's what tomorrow's for.
Be a good thing to be a part of.
Next thing is comprehensive plan. This is HWC, now this wasn't our contract, but the HWC was here last week to discuss the comprehensive plan for the town. This is the zoning comprehensive plan, not the comprehensive plan that was adopted in 2017. So if you recall, the county is redoing their comprehensive plan and doing redoing their zoning ordinance countywide. We decided we were going to try to piggyback on that about a year ago. Now we're actually starting to move on it. They were here last week. We had 12 people, 15 people here maybe, looking at the maps, kind of giving some ideas of where we think development might happen, some things that we may want to rezone or readjust. So there were a lot of good comments. The consultant that was here is going to take that stuff back, put it all back together. I believe it's the next meeting, next council meeting. He wants to come to the next council meeting, present that to you. At that point, if there are things that, and I'm sure we're going to review it in the meantime too. So, but we'll be ready to present that to the council. Hopefully, the next meeting, get your input there, see if there are things we need to change. But there are definitely some changes from the last time the town of Cloverdale adopted that comprehensive plan. You know, things have changed quite a bit, whether it's where residential growth has happened or commercial growth. So this is just gonna bring us up to a more modern time. Once that's complete, that's when we can start talking about doing our zoning ordinance. So they're gonna help us with that as well. So this is just a step there. I encourage you, you know, anybody wants to give input. When I get it here, I'll probably call you guys and let you guys look at it. Come up here, there'll be big sheets of paper. And just look at it then, or you can discuss it at the next council meeting. However you want to do it. That is in the process. So that's, I think, all I've got for the moment.
Kelly?
The only thing I have is, Councilman provided with all the monthly reports in the packet, the appropriation report, which is the budget, revenue reports, and then water and sewer. They're there for your review. Have any questions, you can ask Councilman. Everything looks okay. The police department, a couple of their line items are at 50%, should be at 75% for the year. So those are just some things to watch. That's all I have.
Thank you. Redevelopment Commission?
I'll just go on it, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And if anyone else has something to say, they can, but the commission report, that's in your packet as well. That's an annual report required by law that has to be reported to the state on Gateway. And it was given to the redevelopment commission at their last meeting, and it's just from the council as well. And I'll be submitting that on the Gateway for the state by April 15th is the deadline. So it's just the financials from last year.
Thank you. Planning Commission. Still have a vacancy. If anybody is interested, please email or give Kelly a call. That moves us into the old business. Part-time Deputy Marshal number 2, Caitlin Browning resigned to Chief Hibler
She's moving into a reserve position.
That was effective as of last week. I would like the council to consider eliminating that position as I brought it up last meeting, due to the financial reasons behind that. Do we have any questions?
My only question would be, because we bought her a vehicle, correct? So what would the plan be with the vehicle then? Keep it, sell it?
Keep it, we can use it as part of the reserve. We gotta get it registered, things have been expired since March 3rd, we haven't got the plates for it.
Plates just came.
Okay.
Is there a need for it? Like a need for the additional vehicle? How many reserve vehicles do we have at this point? Two.
It would be the second.
It would be the second.
It would be because the one is slated for SRO, right?
Yes. For the vacant position, we got right
But doesn't the second SRO, the 2 school boards, split the cost of paying for the vehicle?
now. Paying for a vehicle, that's correct. Yes, but the one we're talking about here is the one from Cloverdale that's the vacancy that occurred. So we've got that vehicle, and we haven't got a final decision on the SRO. It's the sheriff between Cloverdale and South Platte.
But the Taurus is the one we're talking about.
Yeah, right now, it's a good, one car, administrative car.
Any other questions? I would still like to ask this council to move forward with eliminating that part-time position.
So originally, some of the money was coming from the prosecutor's office, right, to pay her?
Yes.
And that's not coming for sure anymore, even if we would find somebody else?
If we find somebody else, I have gone and talked back to the prosecutors, and she's decided to step over and become a reserve. The money we have in there, we have another part-time officer that works on as-needed basis, and we're going to work together, so.
Well, then I'll make a motion until we have clarity on that, clarity on that or someone else that
would like to fill the position to eliminate it.
Is there a second?
That's second.
All in favor? Aye. Let the record show that there was one nay. Okay, build, operate, transfer.
So as you know, for the, what I call the Legal State Park project, which is the upgrade to the Legal State Park, they're gonna go force main to our plant with some upgrades to our plant. We had decided at the previous meeting to go to the field operate transfer process, and we had put that out, you're required to put that out for publication. That ran in the banner 2 different times. Today at noon was the deadline to submit proposals for responses to the RFQ, request for qualifications. We received one response from Reynolds Construction. I was notified today that we had about 10 others make an inquiry, but did not end up submitting a response. Initially, I had some concerns with only one response. If we were to only get one response, that maybe the advertising wasn't enough in this situation. Because other type of projects you put out, it goes on there's a, I don't know what it's called. When you put something on the bid, and everybody can see it, everybody looks every day at the new projects. And I don't think it went onto that, but because we had 10 groups make an inquiry, obviously, word got out. So as a result, I feel comfortable moving forward with Reynolds and Construction. That being said, I think today, since we just received it, we should take this under advisement and have maybe a special call in the next week or two to give time for both myself and Mr. Smith from Hannibal, from HWC to review it. As you can see, it's got some density to it. And we'll send that out to everybody for their review. But it'd be my suggestion to you to take this under advisement and have a special call in a week to 10 days to approve. As opposed to waiting another 30 days. We're getting kind of close to the time frame of, I believe it's July, there's some funding deadline. So I think it'd be good just to get it going soon. That's all that. Yeah.
Council, do you have any questions?
You good on that?
Would somebody like to make a motion to move in the forward under advisement for Reynolds Construction?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
We have a little bit of a notice, we have to publish it, or I don't think we have to publish, we just have to post a notice, the 48 hours prior to the meeting. When would you like to get back there, if not at the next meeting, to have a special call? Well, I guess the first question is, would you do a special call, and then the question would be,
So what, maybe the first week in May? That'll be 3 weeks, or 2 full weeks,
I was thinking next Monday.
even better.
What time?
You think Eric will have time to review that?
He will have plenty of time. Yeah, no, it's, no offense to Doug, but a lot of the first one.
Boilerplate, we call it.
Yeah. But, and this isn't gonna be a long meeting.
I'm just gonna be in Oklahoma Judge Norris show, so I wanna make sure I can be available.
Okay. When are you gonna be in?
Like 8 to 2, 8 to 3.
You're
On
gonna-
Monday, like 8 a.m. to 2 or 3 p.m.
You're gonna be in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Just make it on Tuesday.
No, I mean, I'll be in Oklahoma until Wednesday. I can get on the phone.
Oh, okay, I guess, okay, good. Yeah, Monday night, okay with everybody?
Good with me.
6 o'clock?
Okay, you said no.
Yeah, I think you have to advertise 7 days prior to that meeting.
I thought it was only 4 days. Thank you. We probably should push that back. I thought it was just posted, you have to publish.
Advertise tonight. In your review.
Maybe it'd be safe if we go to 24. Does that still work for everybody?
Monday, 24th at 6.
Sorry about that.
So will that be phone or in person? Has to be in person.
Yeah, you can throw the countdown.
Yeah. Perfect.
So 6 o'clock on the 24th.
Okay. 54 East Market Street.
This is the, in front of the Heath Building that is owned by Mr. Mott. I did meet with him about that. He is willing to partner with the town to, apparently he's in the concrete business, and to replace that concrete. His concern about putting that concrete is where the water is going to be displaced to, which I think is somewhat of a valid concern. I actually talked to Brad about this yesterday. How we're going to do that to get the water, rather than coming back into the building, flowing to one of our storm drains. We could go east to Lafayette Street, or we believe we could go west, which connects to what NDOT installed. So, kind of working on that. He was willing to work with us to get that accomplished. So, I just don't want to put concrete in there and not know create another problem.
Right.
So, we do need to get that figured out. I don't think this is something that's going to be engineering. I think we're capable of figuring out where the water's going to go. So, just wanted to update you, we are still working on that.
Thank you.
And before you leave on old business, one thing I should have brought this under community crossings, Bennington Way. Kelly, we have received all the funds, both from ARP and from the state NDOT on that. So we do have all those funds in hand. So, obviously, if we don't use it, we're going to have to send it back to NDOT. But I did think that I should mention that it's close to $1 million, $1 million plus.
Thank you. New business, County UDO Steering Committee.
This, I think we sent this out to the county, or at least as I know, the county and the commissioners are doing the unified zoning plan, and they've asked for representation from each town for their input. If the council wants to appoint somebody or ask them to attend those meetings.
Do any members have any interest?
And it doesn't have to be a member, it can be someone in the public or whatever.
Let's say that if anybody is interested, to please send Kelly an email.
It's to adopt the county ordinance for zoning. It's just so pull it out of the map.
I'd be good if we had town board member on that.
And what are these meetings?
I don't know what dates, I think they sent that email, did they? They do, there won't be any of them, we have, I guess, 3 or 4 of them maybe before they're ready to start adopting.
It's probably true. Okay, too.
I've been to all of them up to this point, and they, most all of them have been during the day. And I'll continue to go, obviously, we have.
But what if we do have somebody from the public interested?
That's fine, it was just my suggestion.
Are you going?
Yeah, I think it would be good to have somebody that actually lives, this is my opinion, that lives in Cloverdale, that represents the town. And maybe you could, I mean, if the board wanted to give the president authority to appoint that person, we find somebody here in the next few days. If you don't have anybody tonight. But I think they were looking for somebody soon.
Fairly quickly.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say if there's any candidates, or anybody interested, right, to go ahead and email Kelly, that you are interested. And does the council want to make the motion for myself to be able to approve said candidate?
I think that'd be a good idea, because there's probably gonna be a meeting between now and the next meeting. So just a motion to give the president authority to appoint that position on that committee.
I would motion to give you the authority, but if Jason is going anyway and we can't find somebody, I would give the power to Jason to represent the town.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Stardust Hills HOA?
Not a thing.
Nothing?
Not a thing, not a thing.
Okay. Council? Sir?
Good. Would you like to introduce yourself? Just in case nobody remembers. This is Doug with Reynolds Construction.
Doug Tishman, Reynolds Construction, so appreciate the opportunity to submit today. That's, there's a lot of different BOT developers out there, and a lot of them are just do bricks and mortar work, to build buildings, fire stations, police stations, that kind of stuff. And there's a few of us that specialize in underground wastewater and water pipe distribution systems. I think that's why you heard the 10, but only one response. We've been around 75 years, Indiana-based, out of Orleans, Indiana, below Bedford, operating in about 29 states. Our office is in Carmel. This will be potentially our third project with HWC, so we have a very good working relationship with them. And if there's any questions you have about BOT, I'm here to offer any
I do
information.
have a quick question, just since you wanted to take the floor here. How did you find out about the project?
SRF. So SRF has a project priority list that they post for projects that have been applied for. And I review that list every quarter. And on that list, it's very specific. It's Cloverdale, Lever, SRA. So I called SRF and said, talk to me about the project, who's the engineer. It was HWC, and so I just inquired. And I've done most of my marketing that way.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Council, anything else? Okay, this meeting's adjourned.